I spend a lot of time studying TikTok shop creators. I think they're great copywriters, not because they are genius marketers, but just because they're literally in the audience. They do a great job of that because like they are literally just creating for organic. They are doing the easiest thing they can make. And I think that there's a lot that we can learn as advertisers by mirroring those.
You can also just find those pages that repost all of the most viral things, right? Like find what those are and then just study those.
Like we've had winning ads shot by humans that we just take it, put it through Arc Ads, for example, and get 10 different creators. But like instantly,
diversity.
I've got 10 different people who may represent like different sections of my audience to record this exact same ad, and I can launch it today. Sora got released the other day as of the time recording. I think that the impact will be not dissimilar from when ChatGPT first dropped.
Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I'm still figuring this out. We're gonna keep making content like this. I'm gonna get some people, talk to them about what I'm interested in talking about, and it'll be interesting for you. So I am with Alex Cooper, co-founder,
Either.
Okay, of AdCrate, the performance creative agency that I also own a piece of and I advise. And we are going to talk today for you about 2025 creative predictions and what we think is going to work. And let's dig in. Alex, what do you think is going to work in 2025 for ads? On the spot.
Content gets more authentic.
You think content's going to get more authentic?
Content gets more authentic, and I'll get into why I think that. I think that over the last couple of years, every advertiser has rinsed UGC and like low production content.
Yes.
To the point where like you can't scroll your feed now without seeing like a creator that's been paid to say a script and advertise a product.
Sure.
And I just think that you could get away with the excuse that like, oh, people don't know it's an ad. Last year, 2022, people know it's an ad now, and like they're starting to like have their ad blockers out even to low production content that's supposed to be ugly anyway, but like they know that if it's set up and there's someone just sitting there and they're recording, they're talking to a script and they're not speaking in a way that a human would speak, that like it's signaling to them that like, oh, they've just been paid $200 to say this. So what I mean when I say creative gets more authentic is that we do things that don't necessarily scale. So I mean, I've already started to see this in a bunch of ad accounts over the last few months. I think it continues. I think we start to see more actual customers. And it's crazy. UGC.
Real UGC.
User generation of actual UGC from real customers, of which there are multiple methods or tools or even just like jump on the phone with customers that you can use to get them. I think that we see a lot more founders jumping in ads and talking about their authentic perspective of like, especially if you have a brand that was built around a problem, like talking about that and literally saying like, here's the problem I faced. I'm one of you guys. And here is the solution that I've created.
Yeah. It's such a slam dunk.
We can get into a bit more about that in a second. And then from a more scripted perspective, like using actual authority figures. Like I think there was a period where like last year, even going into this year, where like everyone was using like fake doctors and fake psychiatrists, fake this and fake that. And like, yes, we've had some winning ads that work through that, but like, can we use actual like authority figures and then like even think about possibly like whitelisting through them? Like we've seen many examples where you've taken like an actual authority figure who's ideally recognized, but even if they're not, like there's a page behind it. Like there's a page and there's a funnel behind it that you can go through. So I think actual like authentic content and then just ugly ads. Like I spend a lot of time studying TikTok shop creators. I think that they are excellent copywriters. Not because they study.
Well, you mean the ones that have scaled, like not just any of them. There's tons of garbage
the
ones
TikTok shop creators that
are clearly doing well.
I think they're great copywriters, not because they are genius marketers, but just because they're literally in the audience. And like, there's so much that we can learn. Like we try and like emulate someone genuinely talking about like the product or the problem that's on. But like honestly, just listen to how people actually speak about it. Like listening to an actual female 24-year-old talk about how she speaks about IBS rather than like marketers saying like, increase your energy by 20% or like, lift heavier, like
Mhm.
whatever the fuck it is.
Mhm.
Like actually listening to the people and like how they talk and how they communicate when they're talking about these problems. I mean, yeah, personally, I find it fascinating to study TikTok shop and just not just like the way that they talk, but the
All of
way
it.
that it's done, like
Yeah.
the way that they're like shooting it in the mirror,
Yeah.
or the way it's like just done their iPhone, or like the light is not
Mhm.
necessarily perfect. Like that is, you talk about a lot the like how organic will always follow what is the easiest type of content to make.
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
what's the lowest friction type of content?
Mhm.
And like, they do a great job of that
Mm.
because like they are literally just creating for
Right.
organic. They are doing the easiest thing they can make, and I think that
Mhm.
there's a lot that we can learn as advertisers by mirroring those.
Yeah. Well, there's a few things I have to respond to. Like, I love everything you just said. The first thing I think was around like authenticity, like, or it was rather about how like people, subconscious ad blockers. I love that you threw that out there. I think it's actually, it's not just that people are like more and more tired of ads as much as people are, I think, more and more tired of being sold to.
Right.
Because like even outside of ads, there's still like influencers and whatever that are like also putting out stuff that's like fundamentally like selling or pushing an agenda rather than making good content that also sells. Where so like that's a really, it's not just ads that they're tired of. It's also like this other like stuff that is very salesy. Like that's what they sniff out quickly is like,
Yeah.
what am I being sold? All right, what am I being sold now? Like, so I think they're tired of that. Unless it's made relevant to them quickly, right?
Yeah.
Which, and I love your point about TikTok shops. It'll be interesting to see if like that happens more on Instagram. But like with TikTok shops, what I think you see is people who are either already good at making TikToks that are then able to pivot and make that into something that sells. Because if you've already gotten good at TikTok, you're good at making stuff that gets attention, keeps attention, and like actually that's pretty much it, right? Is getting attention and keeping attention. But to make something sell, you just need to get attention, keep attention, and then pivot and get it to sell. So if you already have some of those muscles built, which those TikTok creators do, and they also, the other muscle that they have that really works well for them is iterating, and
Yeah.
failing. Like you show me a successful TikTok creator who hasn't failed a ton,
Yeah.
right? Like who isn't a celebrity already.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like I don't think there's any TikTok creator out there that's getting millions of views that hasn't just been faced with so much failure. I love finding those like TikTok creators who like, when they found their groove, like you can go back and you're like, oh, these all have like 2,000 views. And then
Yeah.
this one had 3 million. And then
So
every piece of
fascinating.
content looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that after. They just like create a new persona or a new character and like that's it. So yeah, they get dialed in. And I don't think a lot of advertisers have those same muscles or, from brand side or agency side or whatever. They don't have those muscles of trying and failing a lot or just finding like storytelling, finding those threads.
Yeah. And again, like, we're not saying here that you necessarily have to go through and shoot 1,000 TikToks
No.
to understand this stuff, but
Right.
how can you
Maybe.
well, that would be one way to do it.
Yeah.
But like, how can you absorb as much of those like performing organic videos as
Right.
possible? So like, I have a swipe file that I use. Like whenever
Mhm.
I see one of those videos that's either
Yeah.
shared on Twitter or,
Yeah.
or actually organically on TikTok,
Mhm.
that's done numbers. I love to sit down and try and hypothesize why.
Yeah.
Because to the naked eye, it just looks like another video.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like another, like every single other video, but
Yeah.
there's so many nuances as to why that might have worked. And
Mhm.
when you start to build a swipe file of
Right.
like different types of products and from different types of industries and content, and then you can like start to like by osmosis absorb
Yeah.
like what those nuances are
Yeah.
that dictates whether something's gonna necessarily go viral, like sell a lot of product.
Yeah. The other thing I think like is another cheat code to that
Mm.
is instead of you necessarily like making your own like what's it called, a swipe file, like you can also just find those like those pages that repost
Yeah,
all of
that's
the
true.
most viral things, right? Like find what those are and then just study those. Because like they're fundamentally just trying to like steal view credit, you know, like to show more, get more views on their page to like whatever, to like eventually sell. I guess they sell stuff. I don't know. But like find those pages that repost stuff or like, you know, re-upload stuff for like specific viral content, because like then you'll learn quickly. Like these are lots of different things that people are watching a lot of. And that's a simple way to like cheat code. So you don't have to like study and follow tons of accounts yourself. Like you can just go really quickly download a bunch right away.
Yeah.
What else? What else do you think we're going to see in 2025 and beyond?
I'm going to say, I don't know if mass adaptation is the right term, but like we're certainly going to see a lot more people embrace AI ads.
Well, from a consumer standpoint or from an advertiser standpoint?
Advertisers. That's a good distinction to make. See, when we started talking about like AI ads at the start of the year,
in 2024,
yeah, and everyone and their mom had something to say about it, and say like this isn't unethical. Like, why are you doing this? Like, people aren't going to buy from this, whatever. Got a lot of pushback, and then as you started to see throughout the months this year, more and more advertisers have started to adopt it because, like, whether you like it or not, it allows us to significantly increase our volume. Doesn't significantly increase like the quality of the creative, but like through being able to do way more volume at a lower price, we can test more messages and find something that we may otherwise not have found where we were doing everything manually. I think you start seeing like tools like ArcAds and Creatify, which, by the way, like the developments they've made since even the last 3-6 months, like the creators now versus the creators 9 months ago, when they hard launched, it's, even as an advertiser, becoming difficult to tell when something is AI. Like our team have made ads multiple times, and I've been like, I was under the impression it was a real person.
I have my own made multiple ads where I've recorded my voice and then have it be said, like I do the voiceover and have it be said by an AI character. And I've like actually shown it to people and them not understand or believe that it was AI. That's how, like, it doesn't work well when it's a close up of the face. It doesn't work well. But like I have one where like it's the person is like kind of far from the camera, but she's like talking and she's gesturing and she's like whatever. And like it would be so hard to tell.
And we're marketers. That's we should be able to tell. So if we can't tell, then like what chances like the person who's not only not a marketer, but also scrolling their feed, looking for every reason to they're not paying attention when they are looking through these reels. So I think you see a lot more of that. By
the way, important note, legally, definitely don't use, like, if you can't legally have AI characters speaking as if they experienced something.
Yeah, don't make eye statements.
Without, I think I'd have to double check with a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. But I think you'd at least have to put a little caveat on the bottom, like the text overlay, say like what this is. But like if they're just talking about something else, but it's not about the experience, that it's not an I had this or I did this, then you know, as far as I know, legally totally compliant.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go and say like, I tried this and my skin looks so much better. Like that's no. Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of people that are going to see this and they're still going to do that.
Yeah.
You're eventually
as long as we've told
you
not to do it.
Yeah, you're eventually going to get caught. Like, it's not worth the risk, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, even from the like, just from the perspective of like how much easier it's going to make things. Just to like, we've had winning ads shot by humans that you just take it, put it through ArcAds, for example, and get 10 different creators. But like instantly,
instant diversity.
I've got 10 different people who may represent like different sections of my audience to record this exact same ad, and I can launch it today.
Yeah. And not just different, I love that point. And not just different sections of like, you know, you think of like older, younger, different, you know, nationalities or whatever, right? But it's also like different settings, right? Like they're in different places, like in a car, in a bedroom, in a kitchen, like in a fancier house or like a less fancy house, an apartment, like something that feels more southern or more northern or more coastal or whatever. Like there's so many variables, and just being able to create more instant diversity of all of those things is so powerful potentially, because it can both help you find more big scale winners, but it can also, each one of those can help increase scale by being more relevant to different pockets.
Yeah.
So both of those can potentially be massive.
Yeah, and then I mean, I'm not here to pitch for Archives. I don't get paid by them.
Maybe I'll get them to sponsor this, and if not, I'll cut
honestly,
this
you
right
should.
out.
Remain, please do.
Yeah, Remain.
So, but my gripe with AI content.
Wait, let me just do a spot for them. If you want to check out Archives, click the link down below.
Please do. They are great.
All right, cut
really
that
great.
out if we don't get paid.
Keep that in though.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So my gripe with AI content until recently was that that you couldn't show the product. Like if I was advertising this glass of water, if I was advertising this glass of water, it would just have to be me talking, and then you would overlay B-roll shots. Which, by the way,
or green screen the AI.
Which, by the way, are both ways to mask like the illegitimacy of like someone's mouth moving. So like you never want, I mean, not never want because it can work, but like ideally you don't just want to show a close up of someone's AI face speaking for a minute because people will probably be able to tell. I've seen ads that work that do it,
same.
But like
it's weird.
But I would argue that that's in spite rather than because of.
Yeah.
Anyway, but now, like as of a few weeks ago, you can record with the products as well.
Yeah.
Like you just get the creator to record with the products, and they can get hand gestures, and they can be talking about the water while I'm like moving like this and like this.
And this is just the worst it's ever gonna be. Like it's only gonna get better.
Right. Only gonna get more creators. Only gonna get more like at some point, which I originally thought was like I thought if you'd asked me at the start of this year, I would have said this is 3-4 years away.
Same.
But like no, but the next evolution of this is like me drinking the water.
Yeah.
Like me eating the licorice.
Yeah.
Like
those are problematic. Those are more problematic from a legal standpoint because again, it's not real experience.
Right, but like the technology is gonna be developed and people are gonna use it. Like I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but like the way that the rate at which it's being developed, like if you don't do it, your competitor will. Like,
well, that doesn't mean it's not illegal.
Oh, I'm not saying whether it's legal or illegal. Like I you know,
just for a second, play with me for a second here, because like imagine like an AI character is holding up a piece of licorice from licorice.com, shout out licorice.com, and bites it and then says it's good and like reacts to it. Like there's no way that can be legal.
No, but that's still the same case as now. Like you can't make I statements.
Right. I'm just saying.
Anyway,
like it's gonna get FTC.
It probably will. And at some point there'll probably be someone will get sued, and then everyone will fall in line. Maybe.
I have to assume that is going to be coming in mass really soon, like tons.
Yeah, I mean that's the other problem. Like these things move so quickly that how do you?
Well, they're setting up the frameworks to basically establish. Look, you shouldn't be deceiving your customers, and that is fundamentally deceptive.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, still on topic of AI, but slightly changing the topic. Sora, which got released the other day as of the time recording.
Yeah.
I think that's going to have a massive impact on advertisers. It's going to make it so much easier to do so. I think that the impact will be not dissimilar from when ChatGPT first dropped.
Yeah.
Because we're not just talking about B-roll. Like you've already got access to like stock footage and B-roll. You can use that, but like I can generate like shocking hooks of like me crushing this water glass.
Yeah.
Like stuff that would be
someone itching their skin, someone like
stuff that is like not impossible, but like logistically more difficult to do at scale with creators now.
Yeah,
stuff you're gonna be able to do in the click of a button without any negotiations, without any payments.
Yeah,
from your laptop, and like that's scary, but also like really powerful for really powerful for advertisers.
Yeah. There's a lot B-roll wise that like I'm excited to. What I'm excited to do is like just take what you're saying, like, but I want to be able to just like storyboard something, but like actually have the clips, right? Like so we can know what we need to put in. I'm also like, I haven't seen anything from Sora that like has looked lo-fi. Like everything is annoyingly hi-fi.
Right.
I'm eager to see if it has enough source material to make stuff that looks like it's shot on a phone.
So if it's anything like the product journey of Midjourney, it won't be at the start.
Yeah.
But like as it gets more like usage and data, like now Midjourney, like if you prompt Midjourney say, give me an iPhone 4 quality style picture of like this, it will do it. But it wouldn't do that at the start. So I don't know, maybe they've managed to work it from the start, but like I would hope at some point you will be able to prompt ugly ads through Sora.
That's my hope. I'm excited. I'm very excited to play with it. Because like, yeah, I really want to see what happens when you say like shot on an iPhone
Right.
12, or whatever it is.
I'm also curious about that because like think how much detail sometimes you have to go in just to get what you want from an image prompt.
Yeah, I know.
On Midjourney, like how much detail or how many iterations you have to do to get that perfect. So now talking about that from a video.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited about the visual problems I can show, exaggerated visual problems I could probably show.
Yeah.
That like otherwise I wouldn't be able to. It would be too costly to shoot. Like a bathroom filled with toilet paper, just overflowing with toilet paper, like for Tushy or something like that. Or like there's so many like toilet based things that I'm not going to do, right? Like that I can't do and I can't hire a creator to do, or I wouldn't. So like there's stuff that like could be very possible with that.
You're just going to make like visceral visuals with it. Well, if they are like compliant.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see how consumers react, because like the thing is, we're not currently consuming lots of AI generated content.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then putting it in ads isn't really helpful. Like it's not, it might be, right? Like we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. My point would be like, if users can kind of start to have like the subconscious sniff out of like what's authentic and what's real, which is why, to your earlier point,
right, I was going to go back. Yeah.
I do think authenticity, as AI is going to get bigger, I think people are going to crave more and more authenticity. And there's going to be a weird circle back, like a, horseshoe or a circle back to like when, AI can start generating authentic looking stuff. And then what humans will start to do to make more authentic, ugly things.
Yeah. We just keep looking for tells. Like organic creators now, they look for tells. How can I signal to you that like I am not trying to sell?
Right.
I'm not trying to sell to you. Like, I'm just another you guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm just making a piece of content.
Right.
And
it's
just be a game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Like if the AI can get to the point where like it can now replicate the things that we do to try and signal that we are humans.
We're fortunate in that like I don't think most people will want to do that. Most people will want to like use that stuff to make the prettiest thing possible still. And we know better. And if you're watching this, you probably know better than to just make the prettiest thing possible. But yeah, for sure. We'll make something ugly with it, hopefully.
I mean, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. Any last notes before we go?
No, just make ugly ads.
Hell
make your ads uglier.
Keep them ugly. Man, make uglier ads. Don't make them just ugly for the sake of being ugly. You know what? You get it. If you're watching this, you probably get it. And if you don't get it, then watch more of my content. And if either way, definitely check out my course, Building Ads with Barry. We're launching very soon. Get on in there, buildingadswithbarry.com. Check it out. Check out AdCrate, our performance creative agency. Check us out on Twitter, and check out Alex's YouTube channel as well. Thank you, Alex, for joining me.
Pleasure. My
absolute treat. Honor to have you here. Thank you for watching. Hope you found this valuable. Drop your comments below for your predictions for advertising in 2025. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.